on the blue side. It's not gonna happen. STMC Gold take the grand final.
Because with live sport cancelled and footy fields deserted, there's never been a better time to be a gamer.
Second attempt, but no boost to fall through. He's trying desperately to get another touch, but he just cannot get there. And with 5 seconds remaining, that could have been the last attempt. Colt's going to get one more goal in. And STMC Gold take game number 1 with that goal right there. Granted,
playing online games in a school uniform is now the next big thing.
He is now in a position. The C4 comes out, melts out. Lightning can't get the follow-up frag.
This is the world of esports, aka sporting comps played via online games.
it's just like any other sport. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another week of XPHSL Rocket League, showcasing some of the best teams, the best high school teams throughout the state of Queensland as we get ready for week 4 in what has already been a very, very interesting season number 2. A lot of the favorites have started to dip, a lot of new teams have started to rise, and I'm curious to see where this week takes us as we get ever closer to our playoff weeks. So, definitely going to be a bit of a dramatic showing tonight, I believe, as every game definitely counts for a bit more, perhaps, than they had in the past. But before we get too far into it, a quick shout-out to those sponsors who help put events like this together. Of course, I'm talking about Computer Alliance, helping supplying a lot of the tech. We saw that in spades, actually, over Echo Weekend, as they were helping provide some of the tech available there. Similarly, a big thank you to ZQ Racing. Good gaming chairs, good high quality, so a big thank you to them. Again, it is the highlight of the week to come through and actually get to sit in something that doesn't destroy my back, something that I know is stable with that internal steel frame. The adjustable armrests, I take full, I use them. That's the best way to put it. I use them and make sure, they're always working and that they are. That full 180 recline. Don't get to use that as much here. And yes, obviously the neck and lumbar pillows. So pretty good. They like to cater towards, streamers and gamers and all of you out there. So a big thank you to ZQ Racing. Furthermore, a big thank you to the Canberra Havoc as well, helping to provide coaching for actually the teams that do well in this tournament. You win, you get a training session with, I believe it is Leduc, and I also want to throw out a congratulations to the Canberra Havoc for qualifying into Stage 2 of RLCS X. They did so last night, actually, and I think they did it with 2-3-0s. So they were looking very, very comfortable, very, very confident. If you want to learn from some of the best, well, Canberra Havoc, reach out to them. Very, very strong lineup. Walcott, Leduc, and Spydoge. It's the old crew back from Season 8, looking to possibly make a deep run once again. However, it's time now to take a look sort of at what we have in store for today. And it's going to be more of me. But no, it's actually going to be Ormiston College Redbacks 1 taking on St. Thomas More, STMC Gold. The defending champs of this league are going up against Ormiston College once more in Group A. What's interesting about, Conference A, more so than Group A, is that it's just pretty much primarily all the STMC teams and all the OC Redbacks team. There's a reason why we always are having like OC versus an STMC side. It's just the way how this group kind of was put together, and then Marsden kind of stuck in the middle of it all. Following that, our second match of the day will be the Marauders 1 taking on St. Edmunds C1. That will be happening, at around 5:15 after our first best of 5. It's going to be an interesting match on that as well. St. Edmunds College Team 1, I believe they're if not at the top of the standings right now, they are very, very close to it. Maryborough, I think, is going to have their work cut out for them in this one. Obviously, again, backs against the wall. It's really time to start getting those dubs if you want to really make it deep and get into that knockout stage of this tournament. Now, that said, we will be kicking off momentarily with our first matchup. All these matches will be best of 5s. That's going to be very important because we've seen some very close series at times. We've had a couple actually go the distance, go all 5. We've had a few 3-0s, a 3-1 every now and there, but we are now, 4 weeks into this tournament. I'm kind of expecting these teams to kind of get an understanding of how not just to play with each other, but how to read and play against their opponents, knowing what to expect, and knowing how to adapt in adverse situations. I think adaptation is going to be the key sort of element to gameplay that we're going to be looking for today. I'm very curious to see how these teams are going to grow, how they are going to adapt. Now, I was busy watching RLCS all weekend, so it's going to be hard not to be a little too harsh when comparing the two sides. I am aware, yes, this is high school, and last weekend was some of the best in OCE. However, I think it's good to watch those games and then learn from them. So if we are going to be comparing teams in that regards, I think, this week might be a bit more of a learning tool, perhaps, for these teams. That's going to be a different approach that we might be taking. We'll see how it works. If the games get too hypey, well, you can't hold me too accountable if I start screaming and raving like a lunatic that I truly am. Hopefully we will be kicking off this game first, but before we do, I do believe we have time to quickly take a look at the standings before we get into it to sort of lay out how this competition is shaping up. So as you can see right now, this is Conference A, where our first game is going to be STMC Gold, that defending champion team, actually down towards the bottom with a 2-4 record, -5 score difference. This is a pretty critical game for them because they're going up against, Redbacks 1, who is the team right above them. They each have that 2-4 record. It is top 4, I believe, that do qualify for that next stage. So very, very critical game. It's kind of like the playoffs starting now almost, as a loss here kind of takes Destiny out of their own control. Again, they have that same record. They're each 2-4. That score difference, though, definitely hurting STMC Gold. They would definitely benefit from a 3-0 victory as well, because that would also kind of help them with their tiebreakers against the OC Redbacks too. Going to be a very, very unique game. Then over at Conference B, as we take a quick look at that over there, you can take a look and see, St. Edmunds C1. They're down in third place right now with that 3-3 record. They did lose to their sister team, I believe, earlier on stream, but St. Edmunds C2 has just been absolutely dominating. Marauders 1, they've been having, a rougher time of the schedule thus far. You can see them down there at the bottom. 0 wins, 6 losses so far in terms of matches. Only a -13 score difference, which means they have won a couple games. So it's not like they're losing entirely 3-0, 3-0, 3-0 every time. They are taking games, and they have been improving. St. Edmunds might be a tough challenge for them. However, I still want to see that adaptation. I still want to see that improvement when we get to them later in the day. And that's sort of where my eyes are going to be. I'm very curious to see how the Marauders are going to prove against St. Edmunds as we get ever closer to our first kickoff. Just sort of waiting for the word go for the players to get in, and we will get the match underway. It's going to be on Mansfield as per usual, so pretty excited to see that as... the Academy League. Yep, you know what? We have a bit of time. Let's take a look at how those Academy teams are going. May as well. Lakes College currently sitting atop that leaderboard in both first and second place. It should be worth noting. Lakes College 2, 5-1 record. Lakes College 1, the 4-0 record. And it's been a pretty dominant performance from both of those. OC Redbacks sitting comfortably in the middle of it all. And then down at the bottom, STMC Roosters still searching for that first win. Now, they will be playing today against the Marauders 2. That will be happening off stream. Marauders 2 as well. Kind of in a unique spot. They haven't been able to find that first victory yet, so one of those teams are going to break that and walk away with a small victory. And then, of course, that other Academy game, Lakes College 1 versus Lakes College 2, that's going to be an exciting one. That is going to be a lot of fun. Won't have it on stream today, but I believe if you go ahead and follow XP and check out that YouTube channel, you will be able to find those matches as they're uploaded throughout the week. So keep an eye on us. Go to YouTube, drop that follow, check out the website at XPHSL, and you'll be able to see all of the action from the games not necessarily caught on stream. Still waiting to get into our match right here. Hello again. OC Redbacks will be in blue when we kick it off. STMC Gold will be in orange. It will be a best of 5. Obviously, you want to have that strong start. And the players are jumping in, so we are about to kick this one off. Of course, the Redbacks consisting of Harvey, Rinkaroo, and Frito, STM Gold, Mythai, and the Duffman. And apparently we're going to be getting a 2 versus 3, so that's going to be an interesting situation for this one. Only 2 members on the side of STM. It's definitely not what STMC would be hoping for in a week like this, considering 4th place. On by a reversing Mythai. Harvey shot going to be saved by the Duffman. Frito continuing to put that pressure on, and we'll be able to see if this numbers advantage will come into effect right now. Harvey actually lets the ball sail over his head. Frito as well. Not the best shadow defense, but the third member was there to make the save on this instance. Frito collecting a pass from his teammate, but can't really push it up the pitch. It's a slow play, and one that Mythai is going to be able to capitalize on. Duffman unable to play through the corner just yet, as Frito will instead try to throw it back to the orange side of the pitch. Duffman making the read off the backboard. That's a dangerous pass, and Harvey T9 will capitalize on it. Opening goal goes to the Redbacks. As you can see on the replay right here, Duffman tries to pass it to Mythai, but it sails a little bit over his head. And that is a very dangerous pass pretty much every single time. So 1-0 in favor of the Redbacks. Good job capitalizing on that misplay, and now they just got to hold on. They've got the numbers advantage. They should be able, I feel like, to sort of take this series. As Rinkaroo has a chance, Mythai there for the save. Duffman with the follow through, tries to clear it across the center of the pitch. Good read by Frito actually with that aerial play. Means Mythai has to try to do something on defense, and when you're in a 2v3, your rotations have to be on point, and that's why you can see Duffman already so far back. However, Rinkaroo is just going to keep Duffman pinned in that box. He gets that next touch, actually stops the aggressive positioning from Frito and throws it up to Mythai. I do like how SCMC Gold are approaching this game. The numbers advantage does hurt, but it's still looking to be a pretty competitive affair at this stage. Mythai gets a nice demo onto Harvey, but it still doesn't stop the attack. Frito with the dunk. If that had been a little bit more accurate, that would have been a goal. Rinkaroo as well missed an opportunity perhaps, so we only are still sitting at that 1 goal cushion as we passed the first minute and a half in this opening game. Frito trying to throw it across the center. Bit of back and forth right now. Mythai going to try and get the ball off of a wall to pass it to a teammate. Duffman unable to catch the pass. Ball in the air. No one really jumping up to get some of these aerials right now. Both teams content to play maybe a bit more of a ground game, as Mythai makes the read on the ground, clears it all the way back to the blue side. That's an open net. That shot has to go in. The follow from Duffman, unable to connect. Great counterattack coming from Mythai. Unfortunately, the shot was a little bit high and off of that top crossbar. Definitely a shot that he is going to want back, because those opportunities are going to be hard to find considering the circumstance of this game. Rinkaroo now off of the ceiling, looks to drop it down to Harvey. With possession, actually gets past one defender, which only means Mythai is back, has to make a good touch, and is successful in doing so. In fact, reads out 2 defenders. It's the third defender who only touches it, but didn't really put a good bang on the ball. Risky plays, risky defense coming out of the OC Redbacks. They need to be a bit more consistent with their touches, even in the 2v3, and that's what we're looking to see. A delicate flick over the top opens the goal, and it's going to be 2-0 in favor of this blue side. Alrighty, so Rinkaroo, cheeky little goal right there. One he should be very, very happy with, as they have that 2-0 lead. Should be, again, in theory, you hold on to leads like this considering the circumstances of it all, but that kickoff, it was a late fake, and it definitely was not a fake that worked out. Now Duffman has a chance, only Frito on defense, and Duffman will just dribble that straight over the top. 2-1 is our score. Gotta be cautious of these two members on SDMC Gold. They actually are very mechanically skilled players, as you see right there. A nice little goal for the SDMC Gold side to bring us back within 1. One more goal needed. 2 minutes to do so, so the pressure shouldn't be too high just yet. However, it is the Redbacks on that initial attack, looking to pepper the backboard, using it to set up the rest of the team. Harvey, that would have been a great pass had another player been pushing forward. Frito was kind of the one who needed to be there. Unfortunately, too little, too late. Rinkaroo goes for a booming defensive clear. Can't actually jump up for this one, nearly getting himself in a double touch situation. Not able to find the gold on this instance, but I liked that setup a lot out of Rinkaroo. Minute 30 to go, 90 seconds. Still a case of SDMC Gold trying to find that equalizer. Duffman straight down the center. We'll have the pass caught by Frito. Harvey goes for a 50, but actually loses it to Mythai. Ball still in the air. Where is Duffman? Duffman's playing a bit more conservatively, waiting to play the ground game, but that's okay for the Redbacks as they can push it forward. Rinkaroo nearly finds a goal in that upper left-hand corner. Harvey trying to stop the counterattack, buys some time, but the ball will still find the net. And despite it being a 2-3 matchup, the scoreline sits at 2-2. The 2-goal comeback in effect as SDMC Gold fight their way right back into this. Minute and 6 to go, averaging about a goal a minute at this stage, so Very tight situation, but the kickoff is too good from the OC Redbacks, and now we have a scoreline that reflects the players in this game. 3 for OC, 2 for STMC. Not a great situation, realistically, for this orange side. They fought so hard to bring us back to an equal game, and now they're going to have to find one more goal yet again. Minute 4 remaining. Plenty of time to do it. However, they need to be resolute in their touches. They need to find those openings, and they can't afford any more near misses. 54 seconds remaining. Harvey looking to possibly end this game. The late flick bounces off 2 defenders, and that might do this one, despite the defense kind of bumping into each other all the way back on that OC Redback side. Harvey was put in a position where he had to do everything himself, and he's successful in finding that goal. A great response to the 2 answered goals out of STMC Gold. It only took about 5 seconds, and immediately the OC Redbacks are once again in complete control of this game and arguably this series. As we hit our final 40 seconds, desperation time perhaps from STMC Gold, as they really need to push forward. They really need to find a goal or 2. Defense save made by Harvey. Mythai keeps the ball in the air, looking to get that next touch, actually flicking it towards the net. Follow through not quite there. Actually a bit of a demo as well, as Harvey will help escort that ball in. 5-2 now the scoreline, as the Redbacks running away with our opening game. It's really hard to say what more you can be doing in a 2v3 situation, because especially when behind, the game becomes so difficult as you have to play aggressive. But in 2s, aggressive play is so frequently punished, as you have to usually, when setting up an attacking play, use at least 2 members. And if it doesn't work, you're wide open for a counterattack. And when you're against a squad with 3, that means not only can they counterattack, but they can counterattack while still keeping a member back. It's so difficult to risk those resources, knowing that you have to succeed in finding that goal. And unfortunately, from behind, STMC Gold is going to be unable to really bring this first game back for this team. They will drop the first one with a 5-2 scoreline, possibly even more, actually, as eventually the Redbacks do down the ball. So 5-2 in favor of this blue team. You'd have to assume that a lot of the series is probably going to go around the same trajectory, considering, again, the circumstance that we are at right now. And it's just, it's a little unfortunate, realistically. Like, it is a bit of a roughie. Hopefully we do get to see, again, you know, maybe a more of a competitive game. I mean, for the first 4 minutes, that was a very tight-knit affair. It was back and forth. We saw why STMC Gold are considered to be such mechanically skilled players, but you can only get so far sometimes, as it looks as if, you know, the savior may have arrived for the STMC Gold. A 3rd member has joined the pitch. Jurassic Pro will be joining them. So they got him in. It was only game 1 that was going to be a 2v3, and this is going to flip this entire series dynamic on its head. As we get ready to kick this one off, we are on to that pitch. Opening kickoff looking pretty good right now for the OC Redbacks. However, Mythai is actually the one who kind of gets that first solid possession, looking to pass it straight away to the Duffman, who will take it into the corner. Challenged by Rinkaroo. Challenge successful, actually, as Rinkaroo takes it all the way back. A backboard play, perhaps, as Mythai was trying to read the backboard, but that's not where the play actually went. Swing and a miss for Mythai as well, so Jurassic Pro will have to play follow through. Ball gets to the backboard of the OC Redbacks, where the defenders, again, bumping into each other. Kind of an awkward situation. I've seen that twice now when the OC Redbacks start to turn a defensive effort into attack. They're a little bit sloppy in their positioning, or they're bumping and kind of getting in each other's way, and that really slows your counterattack down, or forces that 3rd member to almost do everything themselves. You have to be clean in your positioning, as Mythai tries to push it across the center of the pitch. Rinkaroo should be the first one to get there. Instead, actually lets it by, trusting his defense. Ball rolling in no man's land for a considerable amount of time during that instance, as Mythai now actually goes for a challenge, not able to win this one out. Gets a dunk on a defender, but still is kind of not really a pass forward, more of a pass to the side, forcing Mythai to actually push forward themselves. Now off of that backward, no one able to really get a good touch on the ball. Mythai accidentally pushing it towards his own goal right now, and will be pressured by this OC Redbacks team. Eventually does get across the box, but you can see Freedu, he's willing to go upward, willing to put pressure on the goal. Nice flick, gets it past one attacker, but can't get it past the 3rd. As more OC Redbacks offense in effect right now, and they're really doing a good job in sort of stifling the counterattacks. That's a triple commit. Jurassic Pro has to race back in order to make the save. A scary situation for STMC Gold. Nearly left the goal exposed. Rinkaroo thought he had it right there. Great save by Mythai to keep this game at 0 apiece. Now, we get to see perhaps a little bit of STMC's attack as they finally do get the ball to the blue side of the pitch, and Jurassic Pro is going to do everything he can to keep it there, at least for the moment. Freedu looking to pass it across the center, will be caught by Jurassic Pro. Duffman should be going up for that, but instead actually gives Rinkaroo all the space in the world to go for it themselves. This means more attacking pressure again now back to the blue side. They should be able to get a sustained attack. Good sort of recovery right there by Harvey. Didn't have that initial angle, but was able to use the boost to correct himself. Does keep the ball pushing forward for the OC Redbacks. Mythai into the corner, looking for something. A late touch, pushing it towards the net. Stopped by Harvey, at least for now, who will now try to go solo play back the other way. A bit of a ceiling shot, perhaps. Jurassic Pro makes the read, makes the save, but cannot push it too far forward. It's going to be up to Mythai instead. Just easing that ball towards the goal of the OC Redbacks. As Duffman now trying to find that touch. Ball off the backboard. Jurassic Pro sees it sail overhead. Mythai now with possession. Not quite. Actually lets it go. Freedu drive forward and bang that thing. It's a delayed shot, but it's a good shot. You saw the window, and Freedu executes on it. 1-0 now in favor of the Redbacks as we watch this goal again. That was just an absolute cracker of a shot. 2 minutes to go. Redbacks again with that 1-0 lead. They're going to be looking to hold on to this one and maybe even add to it. Rinkaroo nearly gets the double touch and sends a pass back to Harvey, who keeps it slowly going towards the goal. Mythai just able to get there in the nick of time. And really, though, we're not seeing the follow-up from these defensive touches. It's still a scary situation, and it just takes one miss for Rinkaroo to find that goal. 2-0 now in favor of Ormiston College as the Redbacks are on a bit of a tear right now. If we're going to take a look at the scoreline throughout this series, it would be a 7-2 lead. More importantly, however, 2-0 with both teams playing at full strength. 2-0 could be our series scoreline should the OC Redbacks continue to hold on in this matchup. Try to play through the corner. No one really available just yet. Harvey T9 will be the one pressing towards the goal. Off of the backboard. Shot from Freedu. It should be good, but Mythai is there for the save. Follow-up shot, though, will find the net. 3-0 for the Redbacks. And something I am starting to notice, which is a bit of a concern, I feel like, for STMC Gold, is that when they are behind, they start to really fall behind. This team almost panics in their decision-making when on the back foot. And it's something that the Redbacks have just been able to capitalize on. The defense starts to get a little bit sloppy, less consistent with their touches, and that is what is hurting this side right now. They need to sort of regroup, recompose themselves. Otherwise, they're going to be in for a long night, perhaps, as we can see Duffman with possession of the ball actually loses out on that 50 right there. So Freedu will be pushing forward. Can't make contact with it just yet. Bump onto Harvey. As we see the ball be taken to the side wall. Duffman has a chance, but Rinkaroo will steal it off of him. Oh, a swing and a miss from Jurassic Pro. That's unfortunate because it means another attack from the Redbacks. Mythai forced to make yet another clutch save within their own goalpost. As 40 seconds to go, 3-goal differential, looking very, very secure perhaps for the Redbacks, but we can't crown them Game 2 winners just yet as Mythai takes advantage of the open goal. You can see at that image right there, all 3 members of the Redbacks were pushed very deep into STMC territory, and that's what kind of leaves the doorway open for that goal. STMC Gold back in this one. 2 goals needed in just over half a minute. Plenty of time to do so, but you've got to be quick with it. No room for error right now for STMC as the ball will start rolling towards the Ormiston College goal. A very slow push actually coming out of Jurassic Pro, and that cast me a little bit surprised. He went for the dunk but didn't jump. Instead, Mythai is going to try to do it themselves. Can't get the second touch off that backboard. 15 seconds remaining. They need to score right now. Duffman going to try to maybe find a fat pass to Jurassic Pro, but is unable to get it, and that may end this second game. One last shot perhaps from the OC Redbacks. Harvey 9 will get it. 4-1 most likely will be our final scoreline. So we take a look again right here. Duffman, sort of a weak, half-hearted attempt to clear it across the center of the pitch. Great read by Harvey to just sort of spike that one on in. Something you should have expected in that situation, and as a result, another convincing victory for the OC Redbacks. They did it with a same score differential that you saw when it was a 2v3. Well, make it a 3v3. They're still going to win by 3. And now they have a chance to get win number 3 and possibly take the series 3-0. OC Redbacks, great showing right there in that one as Rinkaroo showing off some of that red dust off the back end of that car. Ormiston College, very strong performances for STMC Gold right now. Mythi, I cannot, downplay Mythi's performance enough. Mythi is actually playing incredible, all things considered. Has that 1 goal. More importantly, 4 shots, 5 saves. I mean, he has been integral for the STMC Gold offense as well as the defense. And now I kind of feel like it's up to the rest of the team to almost rise to his level if they are going to be able to take this one. Players jumping in right now, and soon we will get all 3. Yep, we are good to go. So this will be game number 3, perhaps the final game for our first series. If the OC Redbacks are able to take it for STMC Gold, it is their last chance to bring themselves back into this series. They need that win, and then they need, well, another 2. It's time to climb reverse sweep peak, as the opening kickoff does go a bit more in favor of the OC Redbacks in this one. Harvey tried to make a read on the ball. He does get there eventually, but still has it kind of still back on him. A lot of swings, a lot of misses. Harvey's just making everyone look a bit foolish. The shot will come from Mythi, and that's going to be a goal. And for the first time this series, actually, STMC Gold has a 1-0 lead. STMC, I kind of been waiting for this team to wake up, and I know Mythi has been there, but it's up to Duffman and Jurassic Pro to kind of rise themselves to that same level of Mythi. That goal, not necessarily the teammates stepping up as much, but it was a case of Mythi kind of going above and beyond. If these other 2 players could start to play at that same level, that would be fantastic. But realistically as well, there was a lot of misses on that play, as Harvey T9 was actually making pretty much literally every other car on the pitch missed. Similar to that situation right there, Mythi forced to corner it, but Harvey T9 is already there waiting, willing, and trying to keep the attacking pressure on. Good bounce over the top of everyone. Jurassic Pro makes an awkward read. Shot comes from Rinkaroo, but the save is there for Duffman, who looks to get that second touch. Unable to find it. Freedo now over the middle of the pitch. That net is very open, and we have a tie game. Freedo equalizes us at 1 apiece. Harvey T9 with the back pass, actually. Just delivered it right to Freedo, and even had Duffman been able to try and clear that one down the middle, there were 2 attackers there waiting. Duffman had to push that ball to the corner, was a bit unsuccessful in doing so, so sitting at a 1-0 lead. As into the wall we go. Freedo's going to steal it off him, keep that attacking pressure there. Shot's going to come from Rinkaroo, but Mythi able to make the save. Harvey T9 now. Opportunity perhaps puts another shot on target, but the defense is there making these saves. Mythi actually going to go the distance with it, gets it to the backboard. Do we see another member? It's going to be Jurassic Pro, puts it up high. Duffman, it's your turn to take the shot, pushing it a bit too far to the left. Means no goal will be scored. Jurassic Pro keeping the attacking pressure on, playing through the corner. Actually misses for that next touch. Everyone's missing, and that means Mythi can go straight down the middle. 2-1. Back to STMC Gold. Inconsistent touches costs OC Redbacks right there. As you can see, multiple players had a chance to really bang that ball, and it was Mythi who was able to get there first. So a good goal from Mythi to bring us back to an STMC Gold lead. It is a lead that if they're able to hold on to, they can possibly begin that reverse sweep. It's 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining. Plenty of time for the OC Redbacks to go ahead and find that equalizer, which I expect they will attempt to do. It will be a setup for Harvey T9. Does get the ball all the way to the backboard, and it's untouched. Mythi finally makes the read and is looking to go the distance themselves, making so many defenders miss. Finally, it is that last line of defense that gets the ball off Mythi, who is looking better and better with each passing moment, it feels like. Freedo shot towards the goal, was trying to be caught as a pass, however, a bit too far forward. Freedo, though, punishes the defense for overextending. Couldn't just get that shot accurate enough, though, to find the net. Duffman tries to play mid-pitch, drops it right to Rinkaroo. Flick over the top, caught by Harvey, pushing it towards the goal, and once again, we are tied at 2 apiece. A slow attack, but an effective attack coming from the OC Redbacks. They kept that ball elevated. Good flick pass, great redirect from Harvey, and we are once more tied. As we continue with this matchup, 2:41 remaining, so just over halfway through, or just over halfway remaining, I should say, of game number 3. Harvey T9 trying to build up that momentum with the last goal, already with the demo, but Rinkaroo not feeling confident. It's actually going to let Jurassic Pro get a free touch, uses it, pass it back. Shot from the Duffman looked good. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit too high. Mythi, the player to watch out for, has an open net, cannot quite push it in the right direction. So we will see Rinkaroo throw it back down to Harvey, pushing it towards that orange goal. Save will be made by Duffman. Relatively simple save on that instance, however, not really in the best position to counterattack initially. Freedo does have possession of the ball, trying to keep it in the air. Ooh, awkward touch from Jurassic Crow. Means Freedo will throw it back towards that orange goal. 2 minutes remaining. Again, if the OC Redbacks take this game, they will take this series 3-0. Mythai will try to put a stop to that. 2 defenders have already committed. Mythai could be on their own, but isn't going to find the net just yet. Nice bump onto the player, as the Duffman actually will be the next one to try and attempt something. Corner defense looking a bit too strong out of the Redbacks, which means STMC Gold will be forced to hastily make a retreat. This could be a goal. It will be. Rinkaroo on the counterattack finds the net, and STMC Gold should have been thinking a bit more defensively. It was Mythai who was back. Unfortunately, he makes an uncharacteristic misread, and that is the go-ahead goal that might end this series. OC Redbacks take the lead with just 94 seconds remaining. Pressure back on STMC Gold, and we've seen this team kind of crumble under the pressure already in the past. They need to dig deep, push past it to find this last goal. Mythai, the player to watch out for, is the one pushing forward initially. Won't be able to make a read off the wall, and this will turn into a counterattack from the Redback. Stuffman goes up high on the backboard, needs to get the second touch, is successful in doing so, but Harvey still is able to make a great read on the play. Rinkaroo as well, just keeping that attacking pressure there. And the longer this ball is on the orange side of the pitch, that means less opportunities for STMC Gold to actually find that equalizer shot. Own goal! No, that is not how you want to end a series. As we watch the replay right here, Harvey was just trying to throw it across the middle of the pitch, and I believe it was the Duffman absolutely drilling it into his own net. Disaster for STMC Gold, and with just under a minute to go, a 2-goal differential. I just feel like this team panics when under the pressure of them being behind, and you can't get any more of a pressured influenced play than what we just saw out of Duffman. Very unfortunate for this orange team. Look, every stream's gonna have one, and it just came at a very, very poor time, it feels like. Mythai, though, trying to keep things interesting for STMC Gold, still trying to push it towards the net. Unable to find it on this instance, as now we go back the other way. Rinkaroo shot towards the goal as well, but Jurassic Crow able to stop it, able to make that save. Up along the wall, will actually possibly go to the Duffman. Late flip, doesn't make contact, and let's nearly own goal it again. Mythai pushes it just far enough to the left in order to make that save. 10 seconds remaining, 2-goal difference. It is not going to happen today. OC Redbacks are going to be 3-0ing the defending champs, and they are doing so to secure their spot in the top 4 currently. Obviously, the season's not over yet, but OC Redbacks, they control their own destiny. They win it 3-0, and they are looking so much improved to what we saw from them pretty much even earlier in this season. Every time we see the OC Redbacks won, this team looks stronger and stronger and stronger. Freedo in particular, incredibly impressed with his aerial play. That has been a new dynamic to this player's game, which has been lacking in the past. However, it is there. Rinkaroo as well, playing a lot more aggressive than what we've seen out of this squad. It looked like a different OC Redbacks, and it looked like an OC Redbacks that has been adapting. This is what I was looking to see, so a big congratulations to them. For STMC Gold, Mythai played outstanding. It hurts when you play that well and you do drop a game. However, that is part of Rocket League. It is a team game, and there will be plenty of time for STMC Gold to come back later, today and even next week. So they're not eliminated yet, but they really do have to win out. Now, we will be taking a quick break, but when we return, we'll come back with some highlights from last week, as well as our second match today. So don't go too far. More Rocket League when we return.
To escape. It will take you home. levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance again, that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never been.
Walking on the moon.
One moment to escape. When you're walking on the moon,
Walking on the moon.
taste your happy place. It will change your groove. When you're dancing on the moon, dancing on the moon. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some levels that I've never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance that I've never been, that I've never been, that I've never been.
here comes the counterattack, but Frax misses the ball. That's okay. Frank goes up, but Luca was there to challenge. Challenge won by STMC, and now here comes Lemon Juice all the way. Muscles it past the defender, and a 3-1 lead with under a minute to go might ice this second game. And we are running out of time. 10 seconds remaining. Luca puts another goal on the board, and that is going to be a victory secured for STMC Black as they advance to a 5-1 scoreline. Just like last week, it will be a 3-0 victory for STMC. Whichever team is going to be able to adapt to that first could find themselves breaking away, similar to what we see Chisholm Maroon doing right now. As we watch this replay of Vale just losing out on that 57, Jonks unable to make the defensive read. And at that stage, it was sort of an open net situation for the Chisholm Maroons. With that 3-goal lead, they should be able to take game number 1. It was a bit disorganized. Marshall now with possession. Does not beat out Hydrox, who gets the dunk straight down the middle. And that is St. Edmunds C1 getting on the board in this third game, continuing to try and stay alive as we watch this dunk again. Nice read, right on target. Beautifully played by Hydrox. Slowly pushing it across the center of the pitch, does get challenged, does lose out, but Mount with no do gets to the ball first. We're back on the orange side with 5 seconds to go. A goal will end this game. Marshall, light touch, can't push it through. Hydrox has to get underneath the ball, gets their shot on target, but it is short. And the Chisholm Maroons take it 3-0. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to XPHSL Rocket League. This is the league where we show you some of the best high schools within the state of Queensland as they compete for some prizes and from some coaching from the Canberra Havoc. As we get ready to get into our second match of the day, it will be a Conference B affair, as it will be the Marauders one, because there are multiple Marauders, but it's the number 1 Marauders taking on St. Edmunds C1 in this next matchup. Now, Marauders 1 have had a rough season thus far. They're still looking for their first victory. They're going up against a St. Edmunds C1 team that is actually one of the contenders to possibly, make a deep run. They're in 3rd place in their conference right now, but I feel like they could be going a bit deeper than that. In front of them are currently their sister team, St. Edmunds C2, as well as Chisholm Maroon. Chisholm Maroon, one of the most improved teams actually from last season to this season. However, St. Edmunds, I feel like is that kind of team that might give them a run for their money in the future. Would be an exciting matchup for sure. So when we're coming into this game, I think the expectation is St. Edmunds needs to kind of take care of business right here and right now. And for them, they're hoping for that 3-0 victory. For the Marauders, however, they might not have won a match yet, but they are starting to win games. They have been improving. So it's not like this is going to be a cakewalk, perhaps, for this orange team. As, the Marauders, they might have some tricks up their sleeve. As it stands, though, players are starting to jump on to this game. We will soon be kicking us off. We are sticking in Mansfield, as we tend to here at XP. And, well, it's going to be another best of 5. If I were to be a man who makes predictions that are accurate, I would be saying most likely we're looking at a 3-0 for St. Edmunds. However, I have been wrong more than I have been right. And my favorite thing about this entire matchup is we get to see the return of, Savage Yonks. Like, that's really what's important right now. Savage Yonks is back. So are we on to this pitch as we kick this one off. And it actually will be a good kickoff for the St. Edmunds side as they get a very safe possession, but 2 attackers pressing forward from the Marauders means it could be difficult to throw it back that other way. It'll be a pass off to Hype Doctorus, who does get the ball to the backboard. Backboard pass, not enough power behind it. Still, it's going to be set up. Oh, it looked like Avil was going to be the one to try and strike that first goal in. Defense able to make the save, at least for now. It's Freshy. I believe that would be pronounced Freshy or Frexix. I'm not sure how he would want that pronounced. We're going to call him Freshy for now. Tried to get that clear, was a bit unsuccessful in doing so, as P, the legend, as well goes for a clear from the corner, but you can see those tight rotations, particularly out of Hype Doctors, just being a thorn in the side. A pinch clear straight down the middle. That's going to go in, and the first goal goes to the Marauders. Overconfidence from St. Edmunds is the name of the game right there. Hyped Doctors was getting that side boost, trusting Avail to be able to make any sort of read. They were not expecting the pinch right there, and it is 1-0 for the blue side. A fantastic little goal right there. Oh, that's one of those goals that might be a bit of a wake-up call for St. Edmunds. And this says, once again, it looks to be the Marauders on the attack, and it will be Freshie getting yet another one. So 2-0 now for the team at the bottom of the table in our opening minute and 2 seconds. It was just a straight shot down the center. A defender was able to touch it, so we didn't get to see the full, like, how hard it was hit. But I would say that one was easily above 100 kilometers per hour off of the first car. So good effort. At the moment, though, we are seeing a bit of more what we were going to be expecting. St. Edmunds now once again back on the attack, and when they were on this attack before, they looked very comfortable. Backward pass, setting up Savage Yonks, who will spike it in, and that is more what I was expecting to see from the St. Edmunds team. They have the teamwork, and they will take advantage of exposed backboards. Freshie tried to make that backboard read, unfortunately was a bit too slow in picking the correct angle. Tried to wrap himself back around to the goal to really make one of those sort of crazy backboard saves, but too slow, and the angle of Savage Yonk's shot by using that sort of spike approach too much to handle. And again, backboard is exposed, it looks like, although Trey Trends is still going to be able to get the ball to that corner. Hyped Doctors now going for a bit of a dribble play. Ooh, not a lot of power behind that flick, means Freshie should be able to catch it in the corner themselves. Now looking to go back towards the orange side of the pitch. Savage Yonks makes an awkward read. Still going to grab that mid-pitch boost and wait for a pass, which never actually comes. Savage Yonks holding the ball into the box right now. Hype Doctors pushing across the center. Good touch by Freshie, who might go up for yet another one. It's a challenge in the air. One this time as well by the Marauders, who are actually starting to put a couple shots towards the net right now. Pass back to the center, but it will be cleared by Hype Doctors, who finds a gap in the defense. Freshie slowing down the attack, but can't stop Savage Yonks from getting the ball through the corner. Hype Doctors with the shot. Savage Yonks with the save of his own team's shot. That's not necessarily what you want to see out of this St. Edmunds side as we approach the halfway point. Still down 2-1 St. Edmunds. Going to try and fight back in this one. Freshie looking to perhaps extend the Marauders' lead. Gets it past Hype Doctors, but cannot get it past Avail, who has to go up the wall to sort of collect the ball. Lets it sail right over his head. As we take a look now, perhaps another attack coming from the Marauders. Savage Yonks able to get the dunk. Gets the pass to Hype Doctors, who will clear it. Looking for a chance to maybe get the ball to the backboard, but Freshie can make the read off the ground. Bit of a back-and-forth ping-pong affair as P, the legend, now puts a shot on target. That's going to be a goal. And the Marauders, again, extend their lead to 2. As watching this kind of see what happened right there, Hype Doctors is too far back. Avail stuck in no man's land. And the Marauders starting to run away, perhaps, with this opening game. Definitely not the result I would have been expecting coming into this one. St. Edmunds. This team has the talent to come back down 2 goals. To come back down 3 goals, though, I'm not too sure. Off of the kickoff, Marauders strike and strike quickly. I said before, this team has been winning games. We cannot necessarily overlook them just because they haven't won a match just yet. And with kickoff plays like that, there's a legitimate chance right now that the St. Edmunds may have bitten off a bit more than they can chew, which is very interesting because you saw in that first couple of minutes, St. Edmunds looked like a team in complete control, but Avail just looks lost right now, not really making any play whatsoever. Just kind of sitting in the box, and P, the legend, will be able to play over the top 5-1 now in favor of the Marauders, who looks like they are going to be taking this first game quite comfortably. Minute 48 still to go. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what was going on with Avail on that play. As you can see right there, Avail not really playing for corner boost, not really playing for much at all. Finally looks to push forward, winds up underneath the ball. A very, very uncharacteristic performance thus far out of Avail is what I'm going to be saying, as definitely does not seem to be on their game. Let's see what Avail can do from the corner. Does be able to throw it back to hopefully Savage Yonks, who kind of passively plays it. Didn't really jump up to try and collect that pass. Passive play across the board, realistically, for the Marauders right now, as P the Legend throws it back to Trey Trends, who puts the shot on but won't be able to find it. Still kind of waiting for the Marauders to wake up. I think it's going to be coming soon, where a switch will get flipped. But as of right now, a dominating performance coming out of the Marauders, I should be saying. I'm still waiting to see St. Edmunds kind of flip that switch, is what I was getting at before. And maybe we'll see it now in this final minute. Hype Doctors going to go for a bit of that aerial play straight down the middle. He is going to find that goal. And we will be looking at a 5-2 game now. Not over yet. It's Hype Doctors. See that nice touch. Puts it just underneath a couple of those defenders, and there you go. So, still a 3-goal difference, under a minute remaining for this St. Edmunds team if they want to make the comeback in game number 1. The kickoff was put on target. Hype Doctors able to catch the ball in the air, and it looks like Hype Doctors is starting to wake up. Avail, though, goes for the bump, does get Travis off of that play, or Trey, I should say. P the Legend watches the ball sail behind them. Ball will get to that backboard. Hype Doctors gets the demo, but P the Legend is the one with possession of the ball. Savage Yonks kind of playing a bit too shadowy on that shadow defense right there. Let's P the Legend push the ball forward. 23 seconds to go. And this is looking more and more like we're going to be seeing a Marauders Game 1 victory. Savage Yonks touches the ball at mid-pitch, pushing it forward. Hype Doctors with the follow-through, looking for the shot right here, but gets bumped off at the play by Avail. So, interesting communicational mistakes, perhaps, coming from St. Edmunds as they continue to sort of go back and forth with this one. Hype Doctors pushing it across the center, and the Marauders take game number 1. One step closer to what would be the biggest upset of the tournament, I would think, thus far. A relatively dominant performance coming from the Marauders, but again, I'm looking at St. Edmunds, and this team is not playing as they usually do. They are playing a lot more passive, a lot slower. You saw those moments out of Hype Doctors. You could see their potential at times, but Avail in particular, just not in sync with the team, was making sort of some odd reads at times, was making some sort of double commits at times, and just seemed a little bit lost. So unless Avail is able to sort of like wake back up and get back in shape with this team, I do worry that St. Edmunds might be struggling moving forward. Now, reason why I'm targeting Avail so much is because I've seen this player before, and I can see how good they can play. So looking very interesting. The Marauders are not a team to sleep on. They will jump upon you if you're not giving it your all in these matchups, and that is why it is important to always come into these events and give it your all. Curious to see where this series is going to take us as we get ready to jump into game number 2. Right now, the players getting back into that match, and hopefully we will be kicking off shortly. Now, I can't see all of you in that Twitch chat. Feel free to say hi. I'll read out, your cries of support. Or, yeah, just your cries of support. Just keep things to crying in support right now for your school. Love to see, who is actually out there and watching this match between St. Edmunds and the Marauders as we get ready to kick off our second game in this best of 5. The Marauders currently up 1-0. Be interesting to see how they will build off this lead. I mean, again, this team, they've struggled all season. A win right now would be absolutely massive for them. Just got to take 2 more games. As we kick this one off already, Avail goes for a challenge, loses out to P the Legend, who, can't quite play that one through the corner on this instance, and still going to be on the attacking half. Marauders trying to find something. Instead, Hype Doctors is actually just going to throw it across the pitch. Caught by Savage Yonks, but he can't quite get it underneath. Oh, everyone's missing the ball now, and eventually that's Freshie who's able to get there. Savage Yonks banging it back, setting Freshie up actually for the shot. That ball nearly goes in. Hype Doctors has to race back for the save. Scary, scary situation for both teams in this first minute. Both teams had some missed opportunities where that they unfortunately were unable to connect on. Hype Doctors trying to clear it across the middle, it looked like. I should say that was Travis trying to clear it across the middle. Hype Doctors now is going to be the one putting on the shot. It's off of the backboard. Savage Yonks goes up for it, throwing it back to Avail, who, unfortunately pushes it behind him. Freshie has a chance, wins a bit of a 50, but Savage Yonks does buy enough time for Hype Doctors to make that save. P the Legend getting bumped off the play right now. 3:47 to go. P the Legend tries to flick it back to Hype Doctors. Makes some contact with the ball, but not really enough, one would think. Ball still slow rolling towards that orange net. Tie game, 0 apiece. A much tighter affair in the second game right now as Hype Doctors goes up for it. P the Legend, though, able to catch it. Again, pushing it back to the orange side of the pitch. Travis is there. He gets it to the backboard. No follow-up shot initially. In fact, no follow-up shot at all coming from the Marauders. One that they desperately needed in that situation. Ooh, good read by this orange side. Avail has a chance, but Hype Doctors instead throws it back the other way. So scoring opportunity perhaps again kind of getting caught up in the miscommunication. Be the Legend tries to find the goal. Unable to get it just yet. Hype Doctors now with possession has a chance to flick it over the defender, but Freshy's there for that save. That's Freshy. Make contact with the ball just yet. Be the Legend pushing it towards the net. Avail pops it up. Very scary situation right now for this orange side. The double commit on the save though is enough to kind of lock things down. And now the shot comes from Avail. It's a little bit far to the left. Hype Doctors with a chance. Winds up chasing it back. Savage Yonks now with possession. Open net, but isn't going to be able to bang it through. Just not quite able to recover in the air in time. Halfway through game number 2. Still no score. Avail with a chance. Can't quite make that read. Savage Yonks now going to play the corner as Travis goes up for it. Ball bouncing in the middle of the pitch. Hype Doctors looking for a double touch perhaps. Can't make the second touch, and Freshy will throw it back to the orange side. Avail, deep rotation though. Actually is going to punish an over-committing blue side. It looked like Marauders a bit too eager to try and find that goal. They really left themselves exposed. Very fortunate that they did get punished on this instance. Hype Doctors now gets challenged by P the Legend, who has the ball kind of sail back to that blue corner as it will waterfall down. Avail has a chance to find the shot, cannot make contact with the ball. Freshy now puts it up for P the Legend. Booming. Bit of a touch right there, setting up Freshy. That shot's going to be in, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Marauders, looking to go 2-0 up in this series. Great bit of play right there in that one, as we are still looking at a 1-0 lead right now for the Marauders. Again, this team yet to win a match so far in this tournament. They're in position to go up 2-0, and reverse sweeps are very hard to come by. So we watch the middle of the pitch right now. Savage Yonks push it into the corner. Oh, double commit on defense. Defenders bumping into each other, but not going to be punished this time as Avail. The ball sail right over his head yet again, and then bumps his own teammate off of the plate. So now P the Legend going to look for something. Not able to find it just there. He's actually going to keep pushing forward right now. As you see P the Legend, unable to really play through the corner on that instance. Hype Doctors as well. Bit of back and forth again. Pace of the game slowing down a little bit to be kind of expected, I suppose. 1-0, you want to play a bit more conservatively. You don't want to give up that big play, although that's a triple commit on offense coming from the Marauders side. Might open the door. Hype Doctors puts it up. It's a lob shot. The save will be made by Trey Trends, whose name I finally get correct after I don't know how long. P the Legend actually has an open backboard, goes for the setup. Savage Yonks goes for the clear, and it's a double bump from the Hype Doctors. As Freshy now gets kind of bumped through that play, throws it across the middle. Very dangerous situation. Ball slow rolling towards the goal. Save is made by Trey Trends, and P the Legend will follow through, gets the ball past mid-pitch. Savage Yonks trying to set up one last attack perhaps from the St. Edmunds side to take it into overtime. They need to get that goal. 13 seconds remaining. Savage Yonks gets it down to the blue side of the pitch. Watch Hype Doctors. He's the one who's been playing, I believe, up to the St. Edmunds standard, but Avail doesn't push forward to take the shot with 3 seconds remaining, and that is going to end this game. The Marauders are up 2-0 and a chance to pull off what would be an incredible upset right now. Marauders 1 game away from doing the nigh unthinkable. And for St. Edmunds, again, this team, they're not really playing up to that standard that we've seen before. It's miscommunications, bumping into each other, very awkward situations right now. And this is not a team that is playing, I believe, at a caliber of that, kind of warranted sort of the expectations, I feel like. They need to find a way to bounce back in this one. They really do, and they need to do it now. I have a feeling we've seen highlights of their talents thus far in this. In particular, out of the Doctor, like the speed that he can attack some of these aerials with are actually absolutely unmatched currently on this pitch. But they haven't been setting them up for it. They haven't actually been trying to play to their strengths, it feels like. They've kind of been letting the Marauders dictate the pace of this game, and as a result, they find themselves behind quite frequently. I do expect this to change in Game 3. I actually with the way how this series is going, I would not be surprised actually to see this one turn into a reverse sweep. It is always a tough ask. St. Edmunds might be able to do it, but credit where credit is due right now to this Marauders team. I'm looking at Freshie and I'm looking at Happy the Legend. These two players have been absolutely popping off when they have been given these opportunities, and they've had some saves and some touches that I do feel have caught St. Edmunds off guard, and that is a big contributor to why the Marauders have this lead. Going into our third game, it might be our final game, should the Marauders get that victory. They're on the attack right now. Avail to make a read. Actually plays a bit further back. He's going to let Hype Doctors go for it, and now we see Avail with the booming shot. And that's going to go in from across the pitch. Avail might have finally woken up in this series. As we take a look at this shot again, just bangs it through. Hype Doctors almost got in his own teammate's way, which is a little unusual. However, still will be a 1-0 St. Edmunds lead. As we move. Still in the opening minute of game number 3. Kickoff should go right back to Trey Trends. Able to bounce it up to the backboard. Do we see that follow-through shot? Not quite, as Hype Doctors able to make that catch. Be the Legend slowing down the counterattack, but Hype Doctors already up for it. Play off the backboard from Trey Trend. Savage Yonks tries to catch it. Eventually successful in doing so, but Be the Legend waiting underneath. Slow pushes it back towards the orange side of the pitch. As we wait for something here, it will be Freshie trying to push it back towards that orange goal. Not able to find too much, and P the Legend actually is going to be the one who gets the touch straight to Hype Doctors, looking to follow it through, get that next touch towards the goal. Defensive effort made by Freshie initially. P the Legend able to fall through, but Avail is able to put it up. It's off the backboard. P the Legend now bangs it across the center of the pitch. Avail gets the defenders off balance, setting up Hype Doctors, who stops Trey Trends. Don't know why I'm struggling with that name, so it's the Treads. It's the Treads. He's able to make those touches at times. Savage Yonks shot off the backboard. Avail can't make the read. A bit too slow on that instance. Hype Doctors, middle of the pitch, does get Treads to miss, but P the Legend able to follow it through. P the Legend gets a second touch on it. Savage Yonks, he gets it to that side wall. Looking for a backboard setup. This could be something incredible, but not quite. Defense does get in the way. 3 minutes 10 remaining in this third game. St. Edmunds looking for that reverse sweep. They are up 1-0. They need to hold on to this lead for another 3 minutes. We haven't really seen the Marauders offense be sort of silent for this long in the game thus far. They've usually gotten a couple goals at this stage with the way the series has been progressing. However, we are starting to see a more consistent St. Edmunds team. Savage Yonks gets the ball to the backboard. Oh, nice pinch all the way back for Avail, who's forced to catch it. Loses possession off of the wall, however, as Freshie was able to push it through. This ball is in front of an open net. That's going to be a goal. And the Marauders equalize us right back up at 1 apiece. 1-1 at the moment as we watch that replay right there. Freshie just taking advantage of the open net. Good situation for the Marauders, who are once again in position to 3-0. One of the best teams in this tournament. Savage Yonks falling back, going to try and play the backboard, but it will be P the Legends faking it to Freshie. Defense, though, gets the pinch clear. Trey Trent is able to push it into the corner. That was a very scary pinch coming out of this orange side. Savage Yonks is booming towards the ball, unable to make contact in this instance, and now Freshie going to go for a bit of a dribble as well. Does make one defender miss, however, does get dunked upon. P the Legend, that's not the touch you want. Fortunately, Freshie is there to get the ball back into that corner. Avail lets the ball sail over their head. Savage Yonks still gets the ball off of that backboard. Cannot get it past P the Legend. Hype Doctors as well gets beaten out. Now Freshie goes over the top of Avail. Defense is forced to race back. They're going to try to get that ball off of the backboard. Trey Trends does get bumped, and Freshie cannot find the shot. Hype Doctors over the top. P the Legend racing back on defense, but Hype Doctors might get there first. Off of the backboard, no, not quite. P the Legend is there. P the Legend is trying to take it back the other way, but Savage Yonks able to make that save. Trey Trends underneath, actually doesn't make contact. It's Avail who pushes it back towards the Marauders side. Out of the corner we go. P the Legend looking for something, anything. Keeps the ball in the corner, but this does mean St. Edmunds might be able to set themselves up. Pinch goes across the pitch. P the Legend trying to race from underneath. Jumps up for the ball. Puts it up off of the backboard. Trey Trends, you got to go up for that shot, but the hesitation costs this blue side an attacking opportunity. Marauders now. Perhaps they might get something right on back. Freshie cannot get it past mid-pitch. Savage Yonks keeping attacking pressure there for St. Edmunds. 1:07 to go as Freshie again, just playing that corner, and both teams really have been struggling to get out of that corner when the ball's locked in as it rolls across the middle of the pitch. Shot coming from Savage Young, saved by P the Legend at the last possible moment, it looked like, as we hit our final 50 seconds in this one. Pressure now coming back from this blue side. Trey Trends actually kind of dips it back. P the Legend needs to push forward, does make contact with the ball. Will they be able to play to the corner? Stopped by a defender, but all the way far back is Freshie, who will bang it right back to that corner. P the Legend goes for the tight turn. That's actually going to be Freshie with the shot. Unable to get there in time as Avail kept it in the air. 30 seconds to go before we hit a Game 3 overtime. P the Legend, though, beats out 3 defenders. That ball's going to fall in front of an open net. No! Travi Trends unable to find the shot in this instance. As now we see Hype Doctors looking to go back the other way. P the Legend loses out on the race to the ball. Hype Doctors open net. Trey Trends gets it to the backboard. Savage Young's pushed too far forward. Still going to look for that shot. The angle, it might be good. It was a pass to Youngs, who was there. Hype Doctors can't get the dunk. 1 second remaining. We're not going to see any airtime. We're going to a Game 3 overtime. Again, this is a St. Edmunds needing a win to keep this series alive. Trey Trends unable to get the touch initially. Shot's going to come from P the Legend. That's going to be a goal. And the Marauders find their first victory in a Game 3 overtime for this season. Well done to this Marauders team. I will be honest, I didn't think they could do it, yet here they are. 3-0 dominating performance, and the Marauders get their first victory of the season. Well done to them. And a big congrats to that team. It's got to feel good. It's got to feel good to take a team in the top half of the ladder out when you're sitting at 0 wins so far on the season. So a big, big congrats. And St. Edmunds, I think they've got some reflecting to do and kind of trying to figure out what almost went wrong in this series. You could see at times St. Edmunds were the faster team. At times they were the more accurate team. They had more aerial prowess. But the communication, specifically in games 1 and 2, was incredibly lacking. A lot of double commits, a lot of bumping into each other. And it really felt like at times a lot of overconfident play. So St. Edmunds, I don't know what to say much more than that. I think they let some opportunities slip by is the best way to put it. And the Marauders were more than happy to collect on those opportunities. So on that note, that will end us here for Week 4 at the XPHSL Rocket League. It's been a very eye-opening series of events. It feels like a couple of upsets, realistically, today. I was 0 for 2 in my predictions. Why you should never listen to me in my predictions. I have been one Formal Casting, and I thank you all for tuning in this week. One last thank you to our sponsors as well. Of course, Computer Alliance, CQ Racing, and the Canberra Havoc, without which we can't put events like these together. So thank you to all of them, and a thank you to all of you watching. Look forward to seeing you next week.